All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the patience. Welcome back to the Baddie Overwatch League. I'm AJ0. I'm here with Cal. Cal, are you ready for some bad Overwatch?
I am always ready for bad Overwatch. It's a good time every single week. You back to
Yeah.
back. Just gotta some days you get Torb 1v1s and you just never know what to expect. And I like
No,
it.
I don't know what to expect here. We are gonna just quick test the pause button, I believe. Or no, never mind.
No, we're not.
That did not have to happen. We had a lot of technical issues, also food issues before this match, but they have all been resolved. And now the only thing left on our plate, other than Dano's delivery, is some bad Overwatch. We're starting with Hanamura, 3 Dans, 1 Cup versus the bench life of Zach and Cody. Both of these teams coming off kind of a rough week.
Yeah, I mean, 3 Dans didn't lose, but they tied against questionably the worst team in the league while doing the 1v1 Torb strategy. Obviously didn't help them, but they did lose that map.
The first team to lose a map to Walmy Maybe. They go 1-1-1 over the course of that set. I mean, yeah, we've been counting down all season. When was Walmy Maybe going to get their first win? And for 3 Dans 1 Cup, I was like, hey, congrats, you were the ones.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I want to talk about this. Josh Thanko on the Mei. Mei is, specifically on Hanamura, is probably one of her only viable places, unless you're just a god at it. So, I wonder what he's going to do. They're going to be trying to hold the choke, and let's see if they fall for it. 30 and Thrifty are going to be pretty hard to pin down, but...
Yeah, I think 30's Sombra pick is going to be really efficient right here, as these two teams are going to go for a cruise off, but...
Yeah, he sees them. He's hacking.
Yeah, and he's trying to shut out Josh Danko, but Valkyrio already had waiting for backup from his teammates, but Chromatic already goes down, but no one's going to contest this point, and there's a tick over for free. Defense! I don't know what's going on here.
They're still fighting. Valk's back.
Yeah, both these Ryans establishing on the point, but it looks like the defense is establishing this hold here. I mean, it never really looked like Bench Life had the upper hand there. They just... That's 46% for free.
Yeah, pretty tragic out of that team. They were so focused on keeping the choke up that they just didn't pay enough attention to 30.
Yeah, so 30 gonna go for round 2 here, sitting up nice and stealthy, waiting for his team to get in position. He wants to shut out Josh Danko. As there we go. There's a pretty aggressive wall coming, but that's gonna let Bench Life of Zach and Cody run straight out of the point. But Cruz is already taken out Dub Drum here. Valk down as well. It looks like this push not gonna be going anywhere.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how aggressive Valk is on this Reinhardt, but right now it's getting kind of to the suicidal point. And they're gonna get a little bit staggered as Chromatic gets frozen, and they were only gonna have 2.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe some picks need to get changed for Bench Life of Zach and Cody, because they've got the Ryan Zarya, which normally in Hanamura you have the shield war here in the front gate, both teams poking back and forth until eventually you get to butt heads with no Ryan shields remaining. But the DPS is Pharah and Sombra. They're not adding anything to this situation, so if they want 30 to go in and disrupt from the back, maybe they just need tanks that can play more forward, but they do have ults available here. We got the Rhine ult coming in, EMP's coming in soon, but there are 6 ults available for the defense.
We need to see them go off right. I want to see just Zarya and Hanzo and then just reset it to 1 fight territory. That'd be the best play right now, especially with how many people are sitting in the choke, but they only get Valk.
Yeah, well, Bench Life not going to have much of an opportunity here. Well, actually, they're only going to lose 1 of that combo now. TK50's going in, but he only gets 1 with his ult, but it looks like these teams are committing. Checkers has rezzed out Furio, but 30 and Dubdrum go down at the same time, and this push is going nowhere.
Yeah. Really unfortunate, they're just going to get staggered out at the very end, and now 30's going to swap off to the Junkrat maybe as a last-ditch effort. They only have a Rhine ulti. I thought that the play for them would have been just to try to get out as many ults as they could and just have ult advantage, but yeah, they really thought they could win that fight.
They're a few % away from having Chromatic's ult as well in Zarya, but Zed is currently sitting on a Transcendence, and there is no DPS ult to combo, and 30 goes down!
He is going to get rezzed, thankfully, but that's a res down.
Yeah, that could be possible as we are teetering close to 1 fight territory. Like I said, Chromatic has Graviton, but it should be a really easy ult for Zedekis to eat. They need to try to force this Transcendence out of Zedekis. As Thrifty trying to raise some rockets. Here we go. Graviton comes out, but a nice Maywall, a nice Transcendence. And this is going nowhere, but they did lose Dano in the process. It's a 5v5 as Valk goes down at the same time. And now this fight getting very split. TK Thrifty going backwards onto the point before Dirty Dan takes him out. And we're only 20 seconds remaining. Looks like Benchlife is going to have to commit to getting onto this point. But here we go. A Dragon coming out of Dirty Dan, looking for something as Graviton comes out kind of late, but that might be able to combo into 30 here as the tire comes out. His DPS comes out. His checkers comes out. And they actually do manage to steal this point.
Wow, and I can't believe that with how many ults the defense had remaining there. I thought Heron could just clean up with his ulti, but he only got the Reinhardt. And unfortunately, that res from checkers just turned out to be huge for that offensive push. And now they're gonna have 4 minutes because this is 2 CP.
Yeah, they've got 4 minutes. They're making some more swaps. Dubdrum over to Lucio, 30 over to the Widowmaker, whereas 3Dan's 1 cup. They've been slow on the swaps all season. Gonna be keeping with all the same stuff, but they're gonna pressure way out here. But that's gonna give 30 some free shots out of this point. He's looking for somebody, anybody, but 30, you're about to get dropped on, and there May coming in.
Yeah, goodbye. Gonna be another 20 seconds off the clock, meaning 3 minutes remaining for this offensive push. It's pretty good out of the defense right now. You don't normally expect to hold first point anyway, so it's not
so
not
ready to go off about that tick they had given up, but it ultimately ends up not deciding Hanamura.
Yeah,
as it looks like Benchlife really wants to do this high ground push. They do have
a nice boop. Means 3 of them on the ground, and 30 gets the pick. 30 Dan.
Yeah, now Valve doing a lot of hammering up top. They have to drop a nano onto Cruise Master, but he doesn't have the hammer available just yet. He's going low, trying to get to an ult here as both of the healers are down for Dano and Zedekis. And this fight's slowly going in the favor. Oh no, Josh Danko, he gets the freeze off, but he dies in the process. But it does force everyone kind of off of this point, but I don't think it's gonna matter as no one's able to touch. And what looked like it was going to be a 1-tick push ends up being 2 points instead for Benchlife.
The amount of picks 30 got on the Widowmaker in that during that whole final fight there was just crazy. There really wasn't anyone to contest when you're not running a diva at all. She just gets free reign, and the amount of shots was just really unfortunate for 3Dan's. 2 minutes and a half. I think the attack's gonna be happy with that. Really, it's not. Exactly, it's not bad, yeah.
For how long it took to get rolling, you could be like, hey, we finished all the momentum. We're good, guys. We just had a warm-up.
Yeah. And on Hanamura, Josh Danko's May just didn't work out exactly as he wanted it to. They couldn't kill the front line fast enough before really 30 started hitting people down in that second push at least.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like I briefly mentioned earlier, that's just kind of been one of the flaws for 3Dan's 1 cup on this losing streak that they've been on. It seems like they're never fast enough to swap their heroes. I mean, I think they just lost 2 straight points without making a single swap.
Yeah, you're right. I do not remember them swapping off that Hanzo, which was the only thing I wasn't sure about, so. Right now they're hovering. TK Thrifty, he heard about May being good on Hanamura, and he likes May, so unsurprisingly, he's gonna try it out this time.
Yeah, he plays May a lot on Hanamura. That's always been a big Thrifty special, so not a surprise. And it should be pretty effective here into this heavily, well, not heavily tanky, but heavily melee composition with 2 tanks and a Brigitte coming out. As it looks like it's gonna be a 3 support, 1 DPS comp coming out of 3Dan's 1 cup here.
The 30 hiding in the trees right now as Soldier trying to get some far ground, and a good wall of Thrifty getting 3 people separated.
Ooh!
And they get melted. They don't get any more healing.
Yeah, perfect defense. Maywall splits everything up, and 30 rains a ton of big damage in there.
Yeah, this kind of a weird comp with Josh Danko on the Rhine, Heron on Zarya.
Yeah,
gonna try it out.
That's the swap that 3D1C wanted to make this week. They thought maybe they were too one-dimensional with Heron only really playing 2 DPS all season. Maybe they think with him on the Zarya, they can have a new wrinkle to their strategy as both these teams are going to start facing off. Valk is already down. Going to be really hard to res here, but the damage is still coming out for Bench Life as they do get that res off onto Valk. And now a hammer gets dropped. The res is worth it as 3 Dans, 1 Cup are going to be mopped up by Bench Life.
A goodbye is only the hammer down really used there, so they're still holding strong. It's down to 2.5 minutes, about the same time when the Bench Life had a good offensive push, so we'll have to see.
The thing is that Transcendence is still a few percentage away. If Perrin and Dirty Dan are able to force this ult combo really fast, there will be no counter, but I don't think that's going to be very likely, as the Ryans are going to charge into each other's faces for the 3rd time, and Josh Dinko once again going down is 30 gets to pop that attack visor, and that's all Sumo.
That will be everything. They will have that Zarya Hanzo ult combination, but now Dove has the Transcendence, so it might not even matter. They have to find some way to pick him off, but they're...
Yeah, and this is something that really worries me. We see this a lot out of teams that play 3 heals, or especially GOATs, is you almost always end up having multiple ults, and you're like, alright, let's play out one more fight. We have all these ults available. But this isn't a composition that plays that well around their ults. They're not a big deal. I mean, what do they... Unless they get a huge grab dragon here, but here we go. Dove Drum coming on out. The Blizzard coming out of TK Thrifty, and this is going to be really difficult for 3D1C as they're just being shredded here. They do sneak a man through the point, but it does not matter. Team kill for nothing.
Yeah, you really could see the difference in there when Dub Drum popped that Transcendence and TK Thrifty popped the May Blizzard. They didn't have any chance. I'm glad that Dirty Dan didn't waste his ulti, as it was pretty clearly unwinnable. They will have Heron swap over to DPS, so into a dive tanks. Interesting.
This is I hate this, and this goes off of what I was just saying about teams holding on to these ults for too long. They will not get ults on any of these new picks. There is 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining right now. That Hanzo ult is what they're going to have to capture the point on, and that's going to require a major outplay as they are walking in, but they are taking so much damage on this entry. All of these health bars are so low. There we go, Heron the first to go down. There is no res available out of this offense, and I think they need to just abandon ship here, play for the last fight, as they are being shredded, giving even more ult charge over the defense.
Yep. They're really their only compensation was getting Dub Drum there, and he just got rezzed up himself. So 30 seconds remaining, and all they have is Hanzo arrow. Heron actually swapping off the Pharah to a Tracer. There isn't anything that particularly counters him, so it's just they're praying. And look at where Bench Life is holding. They actually are very far back, letting 30 handle the side coverage.
Yeah, so watch out. We've now got both the DPS ults available.
Oh.
Dano is already down. 3D1C losing Josh Danko's mech. And now 30, every man's worst nightmare, popping the tack visor from downtown, kicking people
They're not
off
gonna get on
from
the
long
point.
range, and they don't even get to the point in time. Bench Life take Hanamura.
Yeah. 3D1C just really looked lost on that offense. Not everything seemed to be getting shut down from their initial pushes. They couldn't get through. And TK Thrifty, I think it's gonna be that Zarya combo.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. This was just a fat, oh, look at that. Good wall while he's at it. And they just mop through everyone.
Josh says hello as he goes down. The May gods send their regards.
You know, I saw a really good point on the competitive Overwatch subreddit the other day. If May was a more popular pick in Overwatch, she would be complained about to the exact same extent that Brigitte currently is.
It would not surprise me. I'm a really big fan of hating May, because the act of being slowed down as a Genji player is just not fun, but he played it well. You have to give him credit for that, and they just played around it better, a lot better than 3D1C was able to with Josh. I think they're just trying stuff right now, and unfortunately it didn't work out this time.
Yeah, and I'm going to just hammer back to this point about those swaps coming through so late, but on UCP, generally you have time to play 2 compositions per point. And you kind of just need to have an internal tempo that you know around the 2-minute mark you've given up on your comp if it's not working, because you want to have time to charge another round of ults if you're making multiple hero swaps. And That's kind of a little interaction that we generally see Bench Life nail. And it's not something we've seen 3D1C hit very often this season, it feels like. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a way that anyone on that team is thinking about the game.
Well, obviously the big difference between Bench Life and 3D1C is probably a voice. Like I'm guessing 30 is the one mainly doing pre-fight shot calling, and I'm not sure who would really do it for Dan's. Between I guess it would be between Josh, Dano, and Heron, I would assume.
It's gonna be Josh and Heron almost assuredly. And those guys, like, they do have other aspects of shot calling they're very good at, which is why I'm hammering in on this tempo stuff, because I feel like if they could just get this tempo stuff right, they would be such
really
excellent callers.
Yeah, and they just have such they have a lot of skill in this team for sure, and maybe just being a little too quiet in terms of that stuff. So we'll have to see if they can figure out their problems on the next map, which will be King's Row. Almost similar to Hanamura in that Ryan Zarya pretty popular. And we are going to see them running another 3 support comp with Cruisemaster on the Brigitte. And I'm not going to believe that 30's playing Doomfist, but Doomfist is meta right now.
Ready.
You're prepared?
30's ready. Yeah, dude, he's feeling disrespectful. This is what 30 does in Overwatch. You win the first map hard, and then 30's like, alright, what haven't I played yet this season?
I see. And they are going to have tough jump on Genji? Nah, he's swapping off. If he was playing Genji, I'd be a little bit more excited. But
that
30...
was, oh man, what if Dub Jump was a good Genji? Is that the worst possible timeline?
This is the worst time. Yeah, that's true. Worst possible timeline.
Oh no, 30, go back!
They're
We've
playing
seen enough Diva.
They're playing Goats, Resident Sleeper Goats, and
yeah, Goats with the Mercy instead of the Moira. I actually
interesting.
Straight up hate that. Moira's the most important healer in Goats.
Yeah, and we were just talking about how bad Mercy is in terms of healing right now, but they are gonna run at them, and we'll see how this works.
Yeah, they do manage to get that initial pick on Zed as this fight starts being kind of split. Valk is down 30 D-Max. Not looking great for the Goats, but it's still
look at this.
Lots of picks being traded, but no, a big purple comes out of Dano, and that's gonna do it.
Wow. Dirty Dan just popped off too. He got like 4K at the end of that. Whew.
You know how much healing Checkers put out on the Mercy during that fight?
Not
50 HPS. No. Do you know how much Moira would have put out during that fight? About 250.
True. To her point, though, she did get slept by Dano, but just don't get slept in. Just
less than 50 HPS. They're not going to waste any time sending Valk straight back onto the point to his death. But they're going to be really close to trading Valk for the other Reinhardt, but it's not going to matter. Jesus, there's already all coming. Oh, Dano!
Goodbye. Goodbye. That was
necessary, but it was stylish.
Yeah, they already had 2 picks and gotten the res out, so I'm not 100% sure if they needed to grab, but they did get 4 people off of that, and they reset them all the way back, and it probably hurt their not morals, but you know, their happiness levels, morale levels.
Yeah, well, they are going to rally, and they are going to rally, and they are going to run at each other.
And they're going down.
Oh man, and the right again, but a lot of damage going out. We've got a trade that goes down a few percentage away from a Transcendence, but it looks like more picks go in the direction of the Dan 1 Cup. They do get a res off in the Valk, but now Dub Jump down as well. This is looking good for the defense yet again, as they still have some ults available that are not going to be needed, as they are holding this point with ease. This Goats is not working.
We're talking about them 30 maybe being disrespectful with the Doomfist hover, but now they're playing Goats. This is fully meta, and they're just getting clapped. Maybe you needed to be disrespectful and pick Doomfist. Come on, 30. Maybe would have worked out better. 30 and Hanzo has definitely been uncontested and been huge. And they already have the grab combo.
Yeah, this is going to be the big ults. Here we go. Grabs coming out. Everyone just staring at each other's faces. The AoE ult's going in. But that D.Va bomb going to be blocked by Josh Danko's shield. A res does come out of Chromatic, but this is feeling like a big fight. As Heron and Dirty Dan do both go down. Now Zedekis has to pop the Transcend and try to keep what remains of his team alive. And that was actually a big grenade that came out of Dano there. And it's looking like the defense is kind of turning this, but there's a spawn advantage for the offense here as they are getting more men on the point. But Dub Drum goes down during his rally. but I don't know if it's going to matter. It's just Josh and Cruz. Dirty Dan just gets back from the spawn. Not close to an ult here. Is the offense is trying to turn the tide here, but Josh Dingle holding up the shield. Now Cruz reestablishing on the point. And finally, the resources are going in the favor of the defense as they just keep getting men back to the spawn. Dirty Dan goes down, but everyone else has been making it back.
Oh,
now,
but that charge might be huge. They still have 50
they-
seconds remaining.
The defense might have gone too far.
Oh!
Josh Dingle, that is going to be mostly eaten. And now the other hammer coming out. Zeneca and Dano down. That's no heals for the defense. Josh Dingle solo on this point. And now 30's gonna push. He is not going to let 3D1C touch this point again. He's gonna be nerfing this in the streets just to zone everyone back. And Bench Life managed to steal the point.
There were so many clutch ultis, and it looked like it could have been anyone's push there. But really, just a good swap off TK Thrifty onto the Pharaoh to just get back there faster, and it worked out. The spawn advantage. They played a really long fight, and well done by them. 30 is also going to be swapping off of that D.Va.
God, I like these swaps, but oh, Josh
They're all
Danko
down
gets
again.
a nice hammer. He wants to stop this push in its tracks, and Chromatic and 30 are already down.
Do get a pick on Cruise Master maybe for next fight. Dub Drum's going to be actually rallying alone just to stay alive. They do pick Josh.
And actually it is buying a lot of time because Brigida is some bullshit. And
True.
I think Dub Drum wants to chase forward. He misses the stun, but he is still zoning all of 3D1C back by himself.
Yeah, Dub Drum maybe he heard Freefy saying he's the best Brigade in the league. He's trying to say, I'm more aggressive than you. I win these fights. And popping ulti is a good way to do it. Zed gets picked off right now.
Oh, that's so costly because this card's pretty far forward. Zed's going to have a hard time making it back in time to contest the second point here. And Tempo has been
This
bad
is
for
a
3D1C,
huge
but they're going to
grab,
try to bail it out. The grab comes through and it gets... Oh, the Dragon was just really far away. They missed the combo. They missed the combo.
No, everyone was too distracted. I don't think Heron exactly knew where Dirty Dan was in position, so they're still holding on to the point right now, but the teams are just super separated. Josh Denko's dead.
Yeah, this is getting clowny, but TK Thrifty gets some justice, rains it down, takes two before dying, and this cart is still moving. We are close to the point, but there is a man advantage. Actually, Checkers is going to get it, gets the res out of TK Thrifty, and this is going to be close to even, man. Maybe man advantage for the offense is they're taking out Dano, and that's going to be the second point.
I honestly feel like if Zed would have popped Transcendence there and kept him and Dano alive, the rest of his team could have came to try to defend that, but it would have been risky just as Chromatic had his ulti, so I respect the decision not to do it. And they're just going to be trying to hold this last point here with 2 minutes to go. And several ults on both sides.
Here we go, Josh Danko looking for the hammer, only finds one, and they do actually dump enough damage to Chromatic kill him, but that should be an easy res for Checkers, as it looks like Valk wants to play this one forward. 30's just chucking the Tyrant. They're going for the Tyrant grab. Transcendence down, but Heron's going to take out the Tyrant. Thrifty down as well. Now a hammer going the other direction, but there's a Dragon straight through the street that's going to stop any follow-up here. As Valk, very smooth from his team, is going to go down, and Cruise Master going to rally so that his team can mop this one up with the armor.
Honestly, the bench life nuts just need to run out here, and the defense needs to try to stagger them as much as possible, because the defense used pretty much every single ulti they had. The only thing they're going to have coming up is the Zarya grab. We'll have to see if they can even get something good out of that, and they're 3 ultis off of the offense. 30's going to be swapping up to Widowmaker.
Yeah, I was going to say, he almost had that tire back, but he says, fuck the tire, I can win this on the Widowmaker. And here we go, rally out of Dub Drum, the fight begins. Bench Life coming in nice and grouped, but there was a big grenade in the backline that's kind of splitting follow-up from the Bench Life, but it doesn't matter as they're marching out through. They've taken out Josh Danko. Valk on the aggressive, and it's going to pay off. A bad Graviton coming out of Heron only hits Dub Drum, and there's no one even in the same area code to follow up. And these picks just keep coming through. 30 Chromatic, find a few, and this cart is very close to the other. There's a big man advantage for Bench Life here.
Yeah, it's hard to see the defense being able to hold here, as they're going to have to try to stagger as much as possible, but I don't even think that the last two will make it. And this will be the offense taking it with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, and after they cap that first point, they just completely grab the momentum. And just really never let go. Only a few hiccups the whole rest of the way.
Yeah. But in 3Dan's advantage, they did hold first point for a very long time, which really was the reason they only had 30 seconds remaining. So if they do cap the 3rd point, even in overtime, they'll still get another attack. That might be important, might not, but it's nice to know.
Yeah, it is something. So we'll see what is 3 Dance 1 Cup going to change up here on the offense.
You think that they're gonna run a different comp every single time they switch from attack and defense?
I'm not rolling anything out.
Yeah.
But maybe the defense, 3 Dan's, no, sorry, Bench Life, what we can talk about here is another team that we don't know exactly what they're going to run. 30 loves swapping it up. So will he just go straight to the Widow as, I feel like he should, or the Hanzo, that works too. Because have we seen 3 Dan's 1 Cup even humor the idea of running dive this season?
They ran dive at the very end of Hanamura, and I think that was it.
Yeah,
even in the rest of the season, I don't think they've ran.
If we had advanced stats and this team has run less than 4 minutes of dive all season, I would not be surprised. But well, 30 ends up swapping off to the off of the sniper to the McCrew, and I'm not paying attention, so it won't matter.
Yeah, and definitely just to try to counter Heron from wanting to play that Pharaoh, which he's so comfortable with. We're going to be seeing a defensive Pharaoh out of TK Thrifty. We'll see how this match goes. I'm very curious about it.
Yeah, so look, Valk is kind of hiding underneath the statue. He wants to catch this team by surprise on their entry, but he's already been scoped out by Heron.
Yeah, he's just hiding in there. The team might not know, and Valk's just going to run on him.
Well, he's gonna donate some charge over as both of these Rhines are gonna go down, but it looks like TK Thrifty's the one pumping out the major damage here as Josh Danko, pretty far ahead of his team, goes down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked like Zed might be able to get in position to res Cruz, but right now they're just getting staggered, so
yeah, some good late picks coming out by Bench Life.
Yeah. Valk's little aggressive push worked out, I think, mainly off the fact that Checkers got a really good purple onto Cruz.
Oh, Checkers isn't playing Mercy!
Yeah, we didn't even talk about this.
I didn't even think about that till now. That is something brand new. Is Heron gonna go down, get rezzed here? Bench Life playing this one pretty far forward, but Valk not really blocking a whole lot because that's fire damage coming up from high. But maybe it doesn't matter as Cruisemaster is down for the offense. And now here we go. Valk charging forward. He's going to pin Josh Danko way off to the side. And that is going to split this team apart as Josh and Heron both go down. They get chromatic, but it should not matter.
Yeah. And Cruz now charges forwards. And if the offense or defense wanted, they could push onto that. But they're going to play a little bit more safe. They do have ults coming through. They haven't had to use a single ulti since this entire defense, and there's only 2 minutes to go. This is getting really scary.
Yeah, but there are a lot of ults coming close for the offense too. This is the fight. They need to force these ults, and if it doesn't work, they need to start swapping things. So we will see as Bench Life is playing with a lot more respect. But oh, they've already lost Dano. Zed is down. There is no healing for the offense here, and they lost a Valkyrie in the process.
Yeah, they do get Dub's Transcendence, which is actually pretty huge, because if Josh can get a good grab, then this might be the most important ulti that the defense couldn't afford to use.
Yeah, and now it's committed to this set of ultimates here, but like you said, some big ones. The grab combo available. Dum Dum will not be able to stop it. So this is gonna have to be a bit of an outplay here, but 30 forces the res out of the defense, or out of the offense, sorry. And here we go. Josh finds the grab. Here comes the counter dragon.
They can do get 2.
Gonna take out 2. Now can 30 cannot.
Oh! Here they come with their own ults. And Cruz with his own shadow, they're just trying to use everything in this. They gotta win the fight, but it looks like it's over.
Yeah, looks like the ult combo does come through.
Yep. And like I said, Dovejum not having that Transcendence really lost them this defense. They should have held this if he hadn't wasted that.
Yeah, and Josh
unfortunately.
and Heron normally very good at keeping track of opposing ults. They, I guarantee the second they heard that Transcendence call out, they were screaming to go and win the next fight. Josh just shoots an easy grab in there. Now we're on to point 2.
Yeah, and the defensive ults have all really reset besides TK Thrifty's Aura Barrage.
Yeah,
But he's dead!
Yeah, Thrifty was going for a high flank there, gets found out by Dano, 30 down as well, so this is going to be a lot of push for the offense here as they are kind of charging this one forward, trying to put some damage in the tanks. And this could just turn into some late stages, but it's actually Cruz that goes down, not any more members of Bench Life, as they do lose Dubdrum, but they've taken out both of the opposing tanks, and now maybe they're going to be able to reestablish here in a 4-6 as they're winning.
Wow, I'm honestly surprised by it. I guess since Cruisemaster died really early in that fight, they just couldn't find a presence. They did, like, Heron did pick off 30 there and everything, but it just didn't work out for them. And Heron on this Genji now, building up to that Dragon Blade. What's nice about having the Genji Hanzo is if you blade and you get out the Transcendence, then you immediately have the Grav combo.
And here we go, Grav comes out as they are going to dump all of the ults, but Thrifty finds nothing with that barrage. A nice Iris coming out of Dano. As there's really a lot of ults pop for no gain so far, but now finally the picks are coming through from Bench Life.
Well, as I was saying about the Hanzo and Genji thing, Heron popped his ult way too early. Dubstrum still had another 2 seconds of his ult, so he just couldn't get anything done. It all got healed up, and 30 just popped him on the head with the McCree.
Yeah, I know we've been critical of the Heron Genji in the past, and that seems like it could be a pretty costly play, because we're looking at a minute 15 remaining here. May not be a whole lot of new ults being charged yet this game.
Yeah, and Anna's, it's gonna be looking at Cruisemaster to get a huge hammer.
Oof.
But Heron's dead.
Yeah.
And he's way off in no man's land, so this is gonna be a 5v6.
Yeah, now Thrifty is sneaking up behind the offense here. No one knows as the fire damage is starting to come down. Cruisemaster trying to force things with the hammer. He gets the hammer, but he does not get much damage. It's just a trade of the Ryan. Says 30 shoots that Deadeye a little too early for the Graviton's coming out of Chromatic. These are going to be some easy kills for Bench Life with 30-something seconds remaining.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to, they might even have to have Heron on this Brigitte now. Try to touch. Well, no, they'll be fine in terms of touching, but they don't have much coming through for them. Dubdrum's gonna have his Transcendence in time for the Grav combo, so we're definitely gonna see some outplay. Need to see some outplay.
Yeah, here we go. Potentially the last fight of King's Row. What magic does 3D1C have up their sleeve? As Cruisemaster's losing his shield fast, but Graviton's coming out, but they lost Cruisemaster in the process. But here we go.
What?
Dan comes through. No, Dubdrum. That was such an awful Transcendence. No.
He had it, and he just didn't pop it. And they lose 3-4, and they might lose the defense again.
They lose 3-4, and then they lose the ult for the next fight. In 3 Dans 1 Cup, they needed the outplay. And an outplay just means a bad play from the enemy team, and Dubdrum's going to give that one over there. And now it looks like 3 Dans 1 Cup is going to keep King's Row alive. But they
are going to go in. Valks has the nano boost. I think Valk's going to charge in and get nano boosted. And there he goes in.
Oh, Valk touching in the nano, but yeah, they've already lost 30. This is going to be tough. They're not getting much value out of this nano as Valk is doing what he can, but Thrifty does come up. And Thrifty comes up big, he gets 2, and everyone steps up! Oh, the hammer! I think he pushed them all back!
Yeah.
The charge! And overtime just ticks down so fast.
Yeah. And the play of the game going to be Chromatic on that Zarya. These Zaryas were both getting huge grabs at pretty much all points in time. It's just going to be good old-fashioned left clicking.
100 energy there, in addition to all the big grabs, just straight up being the flex DPS for his team, as he just murders everybody with that good tracking.
Goodbye. 29 high energy kills for him.
Whew.
That's scary.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And Chromatic, one of the best Zaryas in the league, showing why he's been getting better every week, and definitely helping. We were talking a little bit in the pre-show about why Cruisemaster might be having such a good time on the Reinhardt is because he has someone like Josh Danka. But in general, Valk being as aggressive as he is, just playing with someone like Chromatic is just it's a really good combination for them. And I think Chromatic's reaping the rewards of getting
Yeah,
that much
absolutely.
charge.
Their play styles have fit together super well. Is that's been kind of Valk's struggle on some of the teams he's been on, where he's been on some of the lower placed teams, and he has not had a second tank that can keep up with his aggression the way Chromatic has.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to watch the replay of how that round ended because I'm actually not. I need to see
I
what got everyone off that cart.
I think the people who were on the cart at least died to the barrage, and the rest must have gotten ulted down and then knocked off. It looked really, it was chaotic for sure, but
Yeah, it was. I
a
was
good hold.
so. I don't know if it would have mattered, but it might have.
Uh, they didn't have 30 at the beginning of that fight just because Cruz actually managed to pin him at the very start of it. So it looked huge, at least. It really looked nice. Unfortunately, no play of the game from it, but
Yeah, I was really just hoping we'd see the POV again from play of the game.
yeah.
So it looks like we just need 1 sec here for 3 Dance 1 Cup.
Yep, they're going to be trying to get a map back as they are down 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, and worth noting, for the first time this season, they officially have a losing record, as they are
Oh.
now 7 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw.
Oh, well.
And we'll see if Bench Life keeps the trend alive. Bench Life, so going into tonight, 11-4-0. They had 2 matches they've lost this season, both of them 1-2. But they've always 3-0 stomped when they've won. And I know before last week, anyways, everyone was kind of saying they were more afraid of Bench Life than they were Mad Cow Disease. And I think that's a big part of why, is when Bench Life has won, they've won super hard. They've just had weeks where they are firing on all cylinders. And no one's really been able to slow them down once they get going.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see if 3Dance 1 Cup can kind of buck that trend. Maybe they've got something up their sleeves for Junkertown.
Yeah, I think realistically they just have really good combinations everywhere between 30 being one of the best, if not the best DPS in the league. He can carry TK Thrifty's weight and his weight pretty well, in between Chromatic and Valk, who's always been just Valk's always been kind of more middle of the pack to the higher end of Reinhardt's and main tanks, but I think especially with the meta becoming mostly Reinhardt, he's definitely shined a lot harder. And yeah, their whole team's just really solid. I don't think there's anyone who you can say is a clear weakness. I'd almost say Thrifty's the weakest, but he it just, because they have 30, it doesn't show.
Well, and one thing about this team, if Valk wins, I believe, an extra 20 SR a couple of seasons ago, this team has 5 players that have been in Diamond.
Yeah, and then last one's Dub, right? Who's we were just talking about is probably the most improved player.
I think Dub Drum gets a little overstated. Not that, I mean, he's been playing well, but he very clearly is benefiting from all of the pressure of the players around him.
True. He's definitely been a lot more aggro than he should be at some points, so
There's just stuff like that transcendence on King's Row. I feel like he just has moments like that where he clearly just does not know the game at a very high level yet. Because when you play Zenyatta, I mean, you just know there's a Zarya on the enemy team. They're going for the combo. You ult the combo.
yeah.
But between the fights, Dub, his aim can still be kind of spotty, especially because they've been giving him the free reign to play so many different things.
Yeah, which is a little bit interesting. He's even played Ana a couple times, when they've wanted to run that, but it's strange. I'm not exactly sure what they always want him to do. He's not someone they need to play around per se, though. And a pause coming through real quick. But he at the moment has definitely been benefiting. when especially on Brigitte, from Valk's aggression and Chromatic's bubbles for sure.
Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna just try to get some lag started out real fast.
Yep.
As see these teams at least hovering initial compositions. DK Thrifty currently on the Bastion. I think that's gonna go through. He loves his pirate ship comps.
Yep, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And it's 30 Dan's not gonna have a good time on McCree if that's the case. With 30 on Widow, this comp is looking scary, and I don't see too many ways, besides maybe a sleep from Dano to counter it.
Yeah, these picks on the defense are not some anti-Bastion personnel, so they will maybe have to swap right after the first.
Mm-hmm. We're getting a readies up from 3 Dans. We're just missing one from Bench Life, but yeah, we'll have to see how they end up playing it, and I expect this Bastion comp to roll through a little bit. The only thing that is a little bit questionable is running a Zarya with the comp, because Zarya and Orisa don't work well together at all. Especially since Orisa is going to be behind the shield instead of the shield. It's just not that